What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Ducks and Download, and in this book review I am so excited to talk about Temptations of the Force. Written by the amazing Tessa Groton, and what a great book it is. It has surpassed Fallen Star for me. And I know to a lot of you might be thinking, what? That's like your favorite book. It was my favorite High Republic book until this one came out. Tessa does such an amazing job with every single chapter in this book, really showing a lot of camaraderie, but also so much turmoil and tension. Every corner you don't know who's safe, what's wrong, or what could go next. But you're always ready for the Jedi to hit the ground running and solve the problem. It's a steamy, action-packed romance novel with amazing relationships and just an absolute hyperdrive of a great time. It has a lot of closure, but a very open ending to really lead us into the rest of Phase 3 and what may be the end of the High Republic initiative that we've known, at least as we've known it. Now, the end had me flipping tables, but it was so good, and I can't wait to see how the Jedi are going to solve this new problem that, of course, Marchion Ro has somehow seemed to wiggle beneath their defenses. But now, on to a bit more of the spoilery stuff. So if you've already read the book, make sure to stick around. Guys, if you haven't read the book, I'd recommend going and reading it. But of course, if you don't want to, I'll give you a nice breakdown of what kind of happens throughout the book. But make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for even more High Republic book and comic knowledge. Porter Engle, one of my absolute most favorite Jedi ever, especially from the High Republic, has an amazing tale throughout this entire book about his journey to end General Vyse and finish what he started towards the end of Defy the Storm. But not only that, we're going all the way back to the Blade. That's right, he's taking things very personally. And in the beginning of this book, almost turns away from the Jedi Order, almost becoming more dark side almost. Definitely becoming more aggressive in his hunt for Vyse until he is realigned with other Jedi and other great people like Kar Santeca to find his true self again and be reignited as the Jedi we know him, but still the Blade of Bardata. Now, I'm not going to tell you if he finishes Vyse off or not, but I will tell you it is a cat and mouse chase that runs the entire length of this book. Speaking of the length of this book, a lot of it's made up with the meat and potatoes, the relationship, as we've all seen from the cover, between Avar Kriss and Elzar Mann. And what a relationship it is. They have what is easily the best kiss in all of Star Wars. Han and Leia who? Padme and Anakin what? No, it's all about Avar and Elzar. Honestly, there were parts of this book that I thought we were about to get into some smut. In a good way, of course. But it stays very classy and still keeps the Jedi to who they are while still giving in to that passion and love. And it is described so well how they fight the attachment of this love, but still carry feelings for one another. The relationship has ups and downs as they both question if they're even allowed to have this relationship, to have these feelings, until they find that these feelings give them strength within the Force and resolve to help the ones they love and care for. Back to Kar Santeca though, because besides being one of my favorite people in all of Star Wars now, I can now easily say that Kar Santeca is one of the strongest side characters in High Republic. Especially in this book where he really gets to shine as he helps Porter and helps all of the people in the Nihil Occlusion Zone trying to get them back to Republic space and defeat Marchion Ro and his evil marauders. It was nice to see Zylan Graf back though, although he did definitely Zylan his way through a few of this, being far more of the chaotic, kind of like Axel Greylark version of Phase 3, way better than Axel of course, like I'll always state. But the relationship that we get between Zylan and Kar still helps to feed the Republic and those within the Nihil Occlusion Zone hope. Next, let's talk about Buri and Bell. That's right, Bell Zettifar and Buri Yaga are back at it, the most amazing duo, especially in the High Republic. I love their friendship so much. And we can't forget about Ember, the awesome Charhound. In this book, Bell and Buri take a very heavy stance on fighting off this new blight that we see creeping across the galaxy from Defy the Storm, a gray sickness that seeks Force wielders, but unlike the Nameless, consumes the Force on like a Darth Nihilus level, eating everything. Buri's empathy again comes through, like the hero of Hetzal that he truly is. We get to see Buri's empathy show him that this sickness can be almost abated with the Force at the cost of his health, though. It really tears him apart. And Bell finds something even worse while they're on these crazy planets looking into this blight and trying to recover things. They find the Drain Gear. Now, we knew that the Drain Gear had been kind of seeded throughout by Marchion Ro and his Nihil, but let's not forget the Great Progenerator, their Mama Master, was on Starlight Beacon, which fell into the Iram Ocean. And if Burry fell and lived, that thing might have as well. So the Drain Gear might not even be all done. But this blight has even the Drain Gear afraid and consumed by their own fear, leaving their nests. There, Bell and Burry will do everything they can to continue to fight the Drain Gear, keep back the blight, and report as much knowledge as they can to their friends in the Jedi Council. When things really pick up towards the end and we get some of the Nameless back in the action, Burry again pulls through with his empathy, using his sense of fear. That's right, using his fear, just like Aslan Rail kind of talks about, to defeat the Nameless. He almost sonars where they are located by using the fear and the distress of those around him, throwing his lightsaber and being the first Jedi in the High Republic while suffering from the Nameless effect to destroy one of those evil creatures. Ah man, you can't love Burry enough in this book. He does so many amazing things. Now, talk about a turn I didn't see coming. We next will talk about Marchion Ro and his scientific method that he then adopts when he himself also discovers this horrific blight. Running tests on living things, non-living things, crystalline things, just doing all these tests he can in his own evil way to find out what the blight is, all this while being haunted and giving very mystic tips and hints from Marta, his father, and all kinds of ghosts from the Adrini past. But even worse than that, he finds out, because of the rod mostly, the same one he uses to control the Nameless, that he is immune to the immediate effects of this sickness and uses it against the Republic. Again, I'm not going to tell you guys exactly how. You still should read this book. But by the end of this, you're going to wish that Marchion Ro had been blown out of the skies of Coruscant. Ghira Staros is, of course, doing her best to try and retake her daughter and make Avon love her again, and it's not working out. But at least towards the end, Avon seems to kind of get through to Ghira, telling her that winning at any cost is not winning when there's no one left around you to win with. Ghira kind of sees what her daughter's talking about, and they finally have a moment of maybe understanding one another and actually helping the Republic again. Avon's been doing a lot, though. I gotta give it to Avon Staros. She has been doing everything she can with that amazing brain of hers to help the High Republic era. So, this book is a 10 out of 10 for me. One of the best, if not the best, Star Wars books, especially in the High Republic. Getting Avar, Elzar, Burry, Bell, Porter, Vernestra Ro, all of these amazing conversations that happen throughout this time. This book is just filled with some of the best Jedi that the High Republic has to offer. And we can really begin to see still how Vernestra becomes who she is within the Acolyte, having to truly forego rushing, to forego her emotions, and use sensibility, the opinions and thoughts of other Jedi around her to fight her own insecurity, or what she would see as her short failings. But none of the Jedi fall short in this book. They amaze every single page. So make sure you go out, grab this book, and read it or listen to it on Audible. It's an amazing Audible book as well. So well read, and the music just has these beautiful moments. But anyway, before I go on too much about how much I really need more Avar and Elzar, thank you all so much for stopping by. I hope you liked this book review, and I hope you're getting into the High Republic as much as I am. Have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, may the Force serve you well.